don't know what you're thinking, but I'll call Tariq right now, and we can figure this out because like you talking crazy. I get you. I got you, but that's my. Hold on.
Call me.
Hold on.
Please call.
Yo,
Talk to me. What's
yo,
up?
Reek. I got Kanan here, and he's saying, and trust me, I know what you're thinking, but he trying to tell me that Tasha really ain't got no rock. So I don't, and he's saying Tasha ain't even as fly as rock. But I don't want to even get into. I mean,
Hey, you said it right there. I mean, I ain't even gotta repeat it. It's already in the facts.
you heard, he said meet him in Queens then.
We on the way. What's up? Talk to me. Come on. Wait, matter of fact.
Oh, Reek, he's on his way right now.
Hold on. Matter of fact.
Oh.
Where they at? Yo, Uncle Lou. Yeah, we on the way. Nah, they in here talking breakfast. Talking about mama and Julie. Come on.
Power continues. What's going on, y'all? It's your man June Archer here, the Winner Circle on thisis50.com. My special guest, man, I could say so much. This young man is well beyond his years. You might know him as Kanan. But that's my little bro, MeKai. MeKai, what's going on, fam?
I'm chilling, big bro. How you feeling, man? We here, baby.
I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited.
We knew that this day was coming. We didn't know that this day was coming.
Facts.
We spoke it into existence. And as I say that, offset, we're talking about what's the word for today? What are we standing on moving forward as we woke up today? For you, man, this journey has been an amazing one. From Disney to stars. How does it feel to wake up, not only in your blessing, but wake up loving what it is that you're doing, that you could be a blessing to those who watch you, but also a blessing to your family?
Man, it's a loaded question right there because I could go on and on about that. You know, to be able to wake up is a blessing in itself.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like that's huge in itself. But to wake up and to be able to do what I do, to love what I'm doing, and just be in such a space with so many like-minded people is something I've been looking for a long time. You know, like you said, the journey from Disney to now has been a journey that like it's been
Right.
It's a lot of ups and downs, a lot of learning curves. It's a lot of just trial and error, and to get to the spot I'm in now I appreciate the journey because I wouldn't be able to appreciate and acknowledge where I am now without that. Like it's wild.
It's hard to put your finger on it.
It really is. It's really hard to put your finger on it. It's one of those things you wake up and it's wow. This is I had this on my vision board. I spoke this into existence. I prayed over this.
So how important is that? Because some people will look at a vision board or the thought of a vision board and say, nah, like I don't see it. People always talk about speaking it into existence or putting it on a refrigerator. How important is it to see it before it happens, even if you're not putting it on a vision board?
Beyond important. It's beyond important because you have to be the first person to believe anything you want for your life. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like,
So it starts with who?
It starts with you. It starts with yourself. That's it. That's all. The bottom line. Like, I understand, being grounded, like being realistic. People call it realistic. I'm being realistic all the time, but you also have to. I say I'm grounded enough to know anything is possible, but I'm also open enough to know anything is possible.
I think people may miss that for the people in the back. You're grounded to what?
I'm grounded enough to know anything is possible, but I'm also open enough to know anything is possible.
And that's a big piece. I'm gonna let that marinate right there. And just for those who are in the back that may not be paying attention, you can rewind that back later. Here's the thing. You go from, and this doesn't happen all the time, MeKai. I want to let you know you are blessed. You go from one universe to the next. The Disney universe is something totally different. There's not a lot of people who look like you who have that success. And you go from the Disney universe to the Power universe. I want to go back to the Disney universe.
Let's go back
It's
to
a
the
very
Disney
polished universe. It's a well-oiled machine. At what point did you get bit by the acting bug that led you into even having the opportunity to be on Disney, and what was that experience?
Ooh, damn, we gotta go back then. I mean, I really started. I got my feet wet when I turned like 4, right? I was still living in Jersey. My parents was taking me to the city for the first time. We got on the subway. I asked for something, they wouldn't give it to me. I threw a whole protest staged on the subway and everything. So happens it was like a talent agent on the subway. She was like, "Hey, he's really funny. He's adorable. You should bring him to my office." But this is also around the time where everybody was saying that, and it was like the people in the mall was like, "Yo, your kid's adorable. Give me $500. I'll put him on Disney or whatever."
It was the hustle. Serious hustle.
Exactly, for real. So we like. Well, I mean, I didn't know what was happening. They were like, at first, but she was really adamant. And it's not like we had a plan going into the city that day anyway. It was just, take Kai to the city.
Happenstance, yeah.
Right, yeah. So we wound up going to her office, and I walked out that day with my first audition ever it was a movie that Raven Simone and Martin Lawrence were doing. I think it was called College Road Trip or something
College
like that.
Road,
Yeah.
Shout out to Raven. Shout out to my man Martin. What's up? Because he knows that we should be. I'm like his doppelganger. Like we should be doing, but that Martin. We'll talk about that. But shout out to my girl.
We'll get to that.
Raven. Yeah.
But nah. So that was my first audition. The character I was playing was 10, but I was 4, so I had no teeth. Ultimately, wound up. I mean, like I went all the way to producers. I even sat down with Martin and Raven in the room and did that whole thing, not even knowing what I was doing. I was just getting out of school early, which was fun to me at the time. I literally missed my kindergarten graduation for a chemistry, which I didn't know the severity of that at the time.
Right.
But it was just fun. And that was, I ultimately wound up not getting it because I didn't have the T. I was supposed to be playing the 10-year-old, didn't work. But that's where I really kind of was like, no, this is kind of fun. That was where the exposure happened. And then from there, I did a couple commercials and stuff like that. I was still trying to be a normal kid. I played football, basketball, all that stuff. Because I didn't see enough of me there yet to, really be like, oh, I can do this. But eventually, I got hurt playing football. And I was sitting in the living room one day on the radio. I hear, hey, Disney's having this open casting call in Missouri or whatever, something like that. Somehow convinced my parents to take me all the way to Missouri.
Wow.
I still don't know how that happened.
That's another piece of it.
But that's a huge piece.
We'll get to that.
We'll absolutely get to that. But convinced them. We drove halfway across the country, met with Disney. It was a bunch of kids. It was like over 1,000 kids, honestly. And they did it over like 2 days. It was like, they like you the first day, they'll call you back. Did the first day, they liked me, called me back the next day. That's when I met all the executives from Disney. And then I went home. A couple weeks later, it was like hey, he's really funny. We like him for this. Turned into auditioning for that. Didn't get that. But it was, at that point, they were like, he needs to be in LA. And again, parents were just like, all right. Sold the whole Jersey crib, packed up our little Ford Expedition, and drove 3,000 miles across the country. And that's when it really started.
So how important, because to touch back on what you said, you were open to the possibilities. That's one piece of the puzzle. Mm-hmm. Now your parents and convincing them to even buy into your dream is another thing. How important was it that they supported you? But what kind of parents do you have, right? That and I say this respectfully.
No, absolutely.
To pack up and leave what's familiar to a young kid who has a goal and a dream that they may not be able to see, but they want to dive into what it is that you want to do. They want to make you happy. They want to give you the skills necessary to be successful. How was it having parents who supported that, MeKai? Because that's important.
Beyond essential. I know a lot of people. People I know don't even have the same sort of
It's great, right? The show's called The Winner's Circle, right? This is called The Winner's Circle. Who is in your circle of friends? Who is in your immediate circle who's going to help you get to the next level to be successful? That part of that was your parents. what could you say to your parents if you haven't already? I'm certain you did.
Dog,
Or-
that part, I already know what you about to ask, but it's like, I almost feel like I can't describe, like, I tell them all the time, like, yo, I feel like I don't even say it enough. I love y'all. Thank you. Because, again, without them, seeing the talent and the seed and wanting to cultivate that and believing in what they saw, I probably would not be here, honestly, because they were definitely one of the biggest pieces in that. I guess they had the hunger just as I did, or probably even more. At times, I remember times where it was like, I don't even know if I could do this anymore, and they were like, no, like this is, are supposed to do this. I can't.
Sometimes people see greatness in you way before you see it.
Absolutely.
And sometimes they see it at times where you're blinded by all the negativity and all the roadblocks that are put in front of you that you aren't able to see it. But there's somebody, which is important, why you have to have the proper people around you. I want to fast forward to the Power Universe. How did Disney set you up to be so prepared for this moment? Because, Brother MeKai, I've been watching Power from day one, and we saw the story of Kanan, and now we're here at book 3, and we're seeing the beginnings of it, and you have embodied everything that I think we would have loved to see and know about Kanan's beginnings. How did Disney set you up to prepare you for this? Because you're not a street dude. You're not a street dude.
Right.
And we know acting is that, right? It's embodying, but there's a discipline that comes with even being in the Disney universe. To get you here, how were you able to dive into this, brother, and be so authentic?
Well, honestly, I feel like, the Disney thing kind of came to, that's where I cut my teeth. That's where I learned a lot of what I implement on set in terms of just my process of, like if I mess up, go right back into it, or just being able to take notes on the dime, because that's honestly what my entire audition process for Kanan was just in the room sparring with Sasha and Courtney. Like they just throw random, feelings at me to see how I would take that scene that they had, but take the note as well, which is also what it turns to on set. So it's just being able to, take adjustments and critiques without being able to fall apart. Sometimes it's not even something you're doing. Sometimes it's just they want to see a different side or a different, just approach to it. So there was definitely that sort of just repetition and learning certain phrases on and off camera that I just kind of picked up on. That's one thing about me. I sit back if I'm in a new world in a way. I'll sit back. I'll learn first, try to observe before and that's kind of really what Disney set me up for, which I will be forever grateful for, in that respect. And being able to just take that along with the raw talent that I already possessed, and being able to marry that here, being able to step into a new universe, a new world, being able to naturally progress. Because again, this isn't something that many, I've noticed, and I'm aware that this is not something that many black little boys, black people, period,
talk that talk, MeKai,
who come from that system, and they're not always able to translate. And I know I've been put in a very different position, which I'm forever grateful for Courtney and Sasha, and 50 again for trusting me with that, looking past that sort of being in that is. I'm gonna keep it a buck. People, they'll try to put you in a box when you come from Disney, especially.
No, shout out to Raven Simone. When you just mentioned that, I'm like, I only know probably 2, and that might be you and Raven. I don't know too many people of color, yeah, but black is different. The crossover is different. But there's a blessing in that, because there are young black boys who are going to now look at you and say, man, if MeKai could do it, I have a shot. That same possibility that you talked about earlier, they will now have.
That's what I want. That's all
Listen,
it is.
and that's something to shoulder, and I know that your shoulders are broad enough. You work with a plethora of amazing artists on this show.
That I do.
What
that
is-
I do, man.
What is
Damn.
the best piece of advice you've gotten on set that you not only use as Kanan, but you could use as MeKai Curtis?
that I can use? Wow. Honestly, probably came from Patina. And that's just from, again, sitting back and watching her. She walked in the damn chemistry read we had that day just with, like, she was ready. Like, she just dripped in this power and this, no pun intended, but, like, she literally just, like, you felt
The presence.
The presence.
The energy.
You know she commands that shit when she walks in the room. And it's like, it just got turned up even more when we started the scene. And I could only sit back and admire that and even push back even more because it just made me that much more excited. You know, I look for those sort of things, especially when I'm working. I want to be challenged and pushed. And that's something that she does just being her.
This show, this third book, is set in what I believe is the best days of R&B and hip hop. The best. That was a time where we got hip hop and R&B from some of the finest practitioners of the field. What did you do to get prepared with the slang, terminology, the gear?
Ooh, I
mean,
love this question.
we were at the power party and people looking at us like, yo, they got on the Shirt Kings joint. Like, these guys are fine. Like, they got on the Kangos and everything. Like,
Oh yeah, we
beat
go
without
deep,
anything.
baby. You already know. We went deep. No,
We went in.
Oh, we went in. We
went
not
in.
for
We
real.
went in. We went in.
It was
We went
dope. It was dope. We got for real. But what did I do to get into? I mean,
Your parents got to be from there. Like, what did I know? They chimed in
Yeah,
like,
yeah, so-
nah, MeKai, you got to wear your hat. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, there was definitely that. But even, I mean, I was born in 2000, but I've always been a fan of the 90s. Like, literally all my favorite shows, movies, music, artists, all of that. It's the 90s. It's culture. A lot of today's culture is still influenced by the 90s.
All day, every day.
All day, every day. So you can't escape it regardless of like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, so there was already that. You know, I had my own little whatever. I had my own little pocket. But again, you know, my parents put me on certain stuff. Sasha, again, is another 90s head who just
Oh, yeah, all day.
all day.
Sasha Penn, shout out.
Shout out Sash. Even on set, Omar Epps.
Yeah.
You know, he made sure we was still in line with
The GOAT.
You know, come on, bro.
GOAT.
Honestly, it's so dope getting to work with. It's dope getting to work with everybody because they all bring, you know, there's so many big personalities. You see it on screen, but off screen, nobody acts like that. Like, nobody brings their ego in it. Like, everybody lit as hell in the show, but nobody really moves like that in between. You know,
Right.
Which I think brings even more magic to what you see on screen because we all give each other that room to be as ill as we are. But that, again, you know, just having those conversations with the people around. And a lot of our crews was big in the 90s. My
Right.
driver, shout out Derek. Love you, my guy. Not getting in the van with him every morning. He'd have on a new 90s playlist for me every day. Like, for real.
Wow.
So I just would subconsciously start listening to that stuff. And I was watching Juice before, trying to really get into the,
Come on.
you know, New Jack City. All of that was, so that was really my, you know, I guess.
Picking up the swag here and there.
Exactly.
All right, so let's do this then. We're gonna play a little game now.
Uh-oh. Oh, geez. Okay, what we got?
Favorite R&B 90s artist. Female. We'll go female first.
Ooh. Favorite female 90s R&B artist. That's probably a cheat, but I'm gonna pull up my little 90s playlist. Hold up.
See, when you put people on the spot, you see what happens. Now he's got to pull up the playlist.
I gotta
So
pull
we're
up.
gonna share this playlist with y'all and see what he got.
This is my little Kanan playlist.
All right.
This is the joint I be listening to. Let me see who I got on here. Who I got on here for y'all?
90s female R&B artist. We're gonna see what MeKai got.
Queen Latifah's always on that list, bro.
Queen Latifah, but that's hip hop though.
That is hip
That's
hop.
hip
You're
hop.
right.
So
right.
I'm gonna let you slide. So we
You're right.
How about male hip hop artist or group?
Male
from the
hip hop
90s?
artist or group. Artists, always Busta. I've been listening to a lot of. I be listening to the Jungle Brothers.
Oh, shout out to JB's. Yeah.
I got that
Yeah.
from Derek.
Yeah.
I've been listening to the Jungle Brothers so much.
JB's, listen, my man Jason Harris, shout out to my man Jason Harris, one of my childhood friends, put me up on JB's before we even knew what the JB's were. And he was wearing the dashikis and everything. Jason Harris, shout out to my whole Windsor High School, like we were 90s babies. Favorite 90s television show?
90s television show. Okay. We could go Martin. We could go Living Single and Living Color. What else? What
There's
else?
a few of them. 90s movie.
Movie? Well, I told you I already said Juice. New Jack City. Me and my father's favorite movie is Mo Better Blues.
Classic. Spike
That's my
Lee. Classic
favorite.
Spike Lee.
I could watch Mo Better
movie.
Blues all damn day.
All right, so then we know what we got to do then. One of these days, we're just going to have a whole 90s theme evening and
with
just
it.
invite a couple people over
I'm with
and
it.
throw it back.
I'm with
That's
it.
what we got to do. Favorite 90s pair of gear? And I'm going to let you live. It could be something in the fall, winter, or something in the summer. Because I know where this could go.
Favorite 90s gear? I mean, the North Face little joints they be having me in with the little zip down
Yeah.
joint. That joint is so crazy. I need that yellow one that had me in the first episode.
All right, Sasha, make sure you get that yellow joint. But make sure
I've been trying to get Frank and Sasha to give me that since
Come
that
on,
they
come
won't.
on.
What y'all doing, man? Like, stop playing with me, bro.
Quit playing.
Come on
'cause
now.
You know we need that.
We need that. We need that.
You know what I mean?
Stop playing with me now.
What's next for you, MeKai? We know what this is yielding. We know where you're going with this. What can we expect from Kanan? Because guess what? They're going to be working on season 2 on this thing. So y'all got to stay tuned. Where do you see MeKai, a.k.a. Kanan, growing as an artist and as a character?
I'll start with Kanan first. The show's called Raising Kanan for a reason. It's about the people around him. It's about the environment he's in. It's about the choices that raise him to who we saw empowered. So you're going to continue to see just, all of these different approaches to trying to bring this young little dude up in a crazy ass world. That's what the 90s in the South Side was like. That's what the representation we've been trying to bring. It really is. Trying to be as grounded as possible with it and really, even though it's a fictional character, these are real stories.
Right.
These are actual choices that people have had to make countless times, whether it be what they wanted or out of necessity. It's a real story, and it's to start those conversations. And MeKai, as an artist, I'm gonna take over the world. I'm gonna keep growing. I'm gonna keep
I love it.
keep making dope art. Keep loving and living, and sharing with the world when I can.
I don't see why not. Like my man RL and my man Kiki would say, why not? Why wouldn't we?
That part.
Why wouldn't we? You could catch him on Sundays playing the legendary Kanan. He is the legendary in the making, MeKai Curtis. I'm your man, June Archer. This is the Winner's Circle on thisis50.com. Like it, love it, share it. Tell somebody you love them. Maybe the last time you have the opportunity to do so. Peace.
We out.